Hello everyone. A rather interesting video here showing a Russian Iskander strike on Ukrainian Su-27s at Myrhorod Air Base. It's quite a peculiar video and I think there's a few dodgy things about it. So first shows a Ukrainian Su-27 at the airfield. There's then a cut and we then see that same Su-27 destroyed with emergency vehicles and utility vehicles near it. The presence of emergency vehicles like this suggests that it isn't a decoy and this actually is an authentic Su-27. The drone footage then zooms out and we see a lot more Su-27s nearby, on the ground around the airfield. Now, also notice the terrain, the ground, it looks badly burnt, so it looks like there was a fairly large fire here. This is where the video starts to get a bit odd. The video then shows a cluster munition strike from Iskander hitting the airfield. These rounds look to impact a section of the base different to where the wrecked jet was. There's then another dodgy cut and we see something burning at the airfield. Now, this is quite interesting because after this cut, the video footage is a bit clearer. You can see a lot of charred and burnt ground there already. So, at first I was thinking the burnt ground was as a result of this Iskander strike, but now, after watching the video, I'm not sure. I think what we're seeing here is video footage from multiple strikes spliced together. So let's go through some screenshots and see if we can make head or tail of what actually happened here. So first screenshot, here we can see a Su-27 in a parking bay. Notably, the ground here is normal, no signs of burning. This is important. Here, that same Su-27 destroyed with some emergency vehicles nearby. This many vehicles suggests to me this wasn't a decoy Su-27 as some people claim, or I guess as some people hope. This was a real one. Now, note the darker terrain now. I wonder if this darker terrain is actually just cloud shadows or similar, as opposed to burning damage, but I think it's burning damage, as we shall soon see. Then, when the video feed zooms out again, you can see here, it doesn't look like shadow to me, it definitely looks like burning. Highlighted in red is the wreck of a Su-27. Also highlighted here, other Su-27s, which were also pointed out by Russia. So this was quite a big, important base it seemed. Including the wrecked jet, there were 6 Su-27s here. The one with a question mark looks partially dismantled, could be undergoing repair, could have been damaged in the attack or damaged before this Iskander strike. Interestingly, Russia doesn't specifically highlight it as a destroyed one, so maybe this was undergoing repair at the time, which is why it looks a bit dismantled. Here, the Iskander strike itself using cluster munitions, put next to the screenshot of the jets. So it did impact an area with a lot of Su-27s. I count 3 Su-27s in the targeted area. But let's take a closer look at the screenshot of the strike itself. Firstly, I can't see any jets in the screenshot. There are a few objects here, and it could be Russia's dodgy camera, but they don't look very plane-like to me. They look a bit more rectangular, and I think these could be fuel vehicles. At least one of them, though, does correspond with the position of the Su-27 we just looked at, but some of them don't look like Su-27s or aircraft at all. The most interesting screenshot, though, is here. This is where the wrecked jet was in the first part of the video. As you can see, there's nothing there at all during the time of the strike. However, check the terrain. Blackened and darkened, despite the Iskander strike having only just occurred. This is seen better here in this screenshot. So, you can see smoke rising from the airbase after the strike, and you can clearly see the darkened ground around the airfield itself. The smoke here is rising from an area which was clipped by the Iskander strike's munitions at the outer edges of the impact that we saw. So I think what we're seeing here is pieced together clips from different incidents to put forward some type of chicanery for propaganda purposes. So let's try and put this into its proper order. Here is the first event. You can see the ground is normal colour. This is a recon flight over the airbase. I think this base here was then attacked, leading to event number 2. A drone carrying out recon of the damage caused. You can see the ground is burnt and the wrecked jet in the top corner, as well as a bunch of emergency and utility vehicles on hand. It's possible as well some of the other jets here sustained damage, but we can't tell for certain with this drone footage. But I don't think this Iskander strike was filmed, but clearly it did destroy at least one Su-27. Then, the base was hit again, as seen here. This is a different incident, notably no jet parked in the bay where the wrecked jet was, and the ground is the same darkened colour. This occurred after that first Su-27 was wrecked, I'd say a couple of days afterwards because the wreckage has been cleared away. This attack led to this, something burning on the airfield. Now, when I looked at the screenshots, I couldn't see any jets for certain. This could be just because of a dodgy camera, or they were out of view at the time and that sort of thing. This thing burning here could be airfield equipment like a fuel tanker, or it may be a jet was here, which I couldn't see thanks to Russia's 1970s camera. You can see the burnt ground though, showing it's a different incident to the one which destroyed the first Su-27. So, I think two incidents. The first strike destroyed a Su-27, maybe damaging more, possibly causing a fire which burned the ground. Then, a couple of days later, Russia hit the base again. This time, it seems no or very few jets were present. Maybe the spotter drone or the launch was detected and the jets were quickly evacuated before it arrived. However, I believe the flight time given on live for an Iskander to reach here is 3 minutes, so not much time to scramble the jets. This attack though did destroy something, possibly airfield equipment, or it could be a jet which didn't get off the ground and which I couldn't see on the screenshots. We can't rule it out. So maybe because this second strike wasn't successful in hitting any jets, or at least the footage not showing any for definite, and because Russia didn't have footage of a strike which destroyed the first Su-27, Russia decided to just splice the two video clips together and sort of pass them off as the same incident. The key evidence for this is the wrecked jet being present in one bay, but not there during the Iskander strike that we saw. On screen is a Google Map view of the airbase. It's unknown how many Su-27s Ukraine has in service now. They had 31 in 2023. In the war itself, 14 have been destroyed in total. That number is outdated and more have been destroyed since Oryx hasn't updated. But Ukraine has also received some donated, notably from Kazakhstan, which were officially out of service. But there is a good chance they could be repaired and made operational, and indeed possibly have been made operational. But either way, Ukraine doesn't have many aircraft and many Su-27s, so even one aircraft loss is a big blow for Ukraine. Something I am surprised at, the lack of hardened shelters here. Surely this long into the war, these should be a given now as protection. If only protection from shrapnel damage. Sure, a hardened shelter isn't going to protect the jet from a direct hit, but it may protect it from cluster munitions which hit this airbase. And they will also keep the aircraft hidden, so Russia doesn't know if an aircraft is in there or not, which may make them think, let's not waste a valuable expensive missile here on maybes. Hopefully things change when the F-16 arrives, but certainly this base should have hardened shelters in place to hide the aircraft. Also a bit concerning, Ukrainian Telegram pages report that the drone was circling during one of the attacks for 3 hours, and they lacked the means to shoot it down. So certainly, Ukraine is feeling a shortage of SAM systems now. Hopefully more get sent, and soon. On the positive side, I saw reports about maybe 7 Patriot batteries being sent to Ukraine soon, I believe former Israeli ones. So, that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. Now, before I finish, I'm going to give a quick mention about the new fundraiser for NAFO to buy a new Su-27 channel patch, which is on screen now. The donation information and how to get one is in the description of the video, and I'm also going to play 2 videos, one each from each of the units who are going to be receiving one of the trucks. Thanks very much for watching, and take care everybody.
Hi, we are soldiers from the 23rd Separate Motorized Infantry Battalion. We are in need of a pickup truck for combat, surveillance, and evacuation missions. We ask the NAFO community and charity fund Help 99 for help. Thank you for supporting Ukraine. Slava Ukraini. Glory to the heroes.
Ми бійці 143-ї окремої піхотної бригади виконуємо бойові завдання на Куп'янському напрямку. Звертаємось за допомогою у наданні пікапу та бусу для виконання завдань з евакуації військовослужбовців. Завдяки мобільності ми зможемо врятувати багато поранених, зберегти життя наших воїнів та досягти кращих результатів виконання завдань. Дякуємо друзям з НАФО. Слава Україні! Героям слава!